Hello world and welcome to my review of the HORI TAC Pro. In the background I have a little Black Ops 4 gameplay of me using the device, so if you're curious what that looks like, go ahead and take a look. If not, feel free to put this in the background because there's really nothing going to pop up on your screen worth looking at. Before I get into the meat of this video, I'd like to briefly qualify my opinions and perspective. At the risk of sounding like a stereotypical member of the PC master race, I was at one point a top 1% player in Counter-Strike Global Offensive. I can reliably discern the difference between 60 Hz and 144 Hz. I can tell the difference between 125 Hz polling rate on a mouse and a 500 Hz polling rate. I can even feel minor imperfections on a mouse pad. I've been gaming for over 10 years, and I got my start on PC. It's safe to assume I know my way around a mouse and keyboard. Now, I watched this guy on YouTube.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Ali. I'm a junior doctor working in Cambridge.
Instead of making you wait till the end of the video to hear the conclusion, he gives it to you up front, presumably because he's a busy guy and appreciates that sort of thing. I'm not a busy guy, but that sounds like a really good idea. Not to mention, it's an inherent display of respect for the viewer's time. So, if I lost or broke the HORI TAC Pro, would I go out and buy another one? Nope. I can't say I would. It seems overpriced, and the hardware feels kinda cheap. That said, I think it's your only officially supported option, and it does operate as intended. But its intended operation is just emulation. It is not a native input device. There is a learning curve here. There is a large, noticeable amount of input lag. Because of emulation, there are inescapable movement limitations with the mouse. Though, it is worth explicitly stating adjusting to this device can be done. I would say one of the biggest benefits of the TAC Pro would be the keypad. Have you ever heard of SCUF controllers? They are an aftermarket controller that's almost a necessity if you're gonna play console games at a high skill level. Their selling point is extra buttons at the bottom of the controller. This allows for more nimble character movement by making use of the ring finger and the pinky finger, which is ordinarily just used for gripping the controller. Using a keypad like the TAC Pro delivers the same sort of advantage. You end up using all 5 fingers, and with some practice, you'll be jumping and sliding like the best of them. Considering all those shortcomings, I still don't regret my purchase. I think I have mild RSI in my hands from years of gaming. Holding a controller for extended periods of time causes me pain. Except for the Switch Pro controller, oddly enough. Anyhow, my benchmark for the TAC Pro has been Black Ops 4 and COD 4 cage matches. My idle skill level on console with a controller is best described as middling above average. League play ranks me top 15 to top 20%. I bounce between those two ranks. And in just a few days with the TAC Pro, I'm really close to where I average with a controller. But I think my adjustment period is a bit faster than most because of my extensive experience on PC. Now, the one I bought is actually the second generation of the TAC Pro. I think the only real difference is that the new one has Bluetooth, which of course is used for button remapping and other configuration. What's weird about that process is I didn't have to pair it to my phone. I mean, I thought that was kind of cool, actually, but, bizarre. That's kind of rare. I opened up the app, I tapped search, I tapped on the MAC address of my device, and was instantly connected and ready to do what I needed to do. Once you're in the app, it's not a great experience, but it's not a bad one either. It has a very rudimentary user interface, but it does work, and I'm glad I went with the Bluetooth version, so there's that. My mechanical key switch of choice is definitely the Cherry MX Blue. I love the weight, I love the sound, I love the detent. It's the perfect key switch for me. If I bought a keyboard with the switches on the TAC Pro's keypad, I would abruptly return it, it's safe to say. There is no sound other than the key bottoming out, there is no feedback when the switch is actuated, the springs are super stiff. I am indifferent to the joystick though, it's not great, nor terrible. And I think the only couple things left worth mentioning are the keypad's rubber feet are super grippy and don't slide. The supplied mouse seems good enough. You also can't wake the PlayStation by hitting the PS button. I thought that was kind of bizarre and weird. Like, what? That doesn't make any sense. In closing, I'm not disappointed because I went into this with pretty low expectations, and being able to play for a little longer with no pain in my hands is a nice bonus. I didn't buy this because I wanted to be better or I wanted an advantage over somebody else. I bought it because I'm a bit more comfortable on mouse and keyboard. When I play Overwatch with a controller, all I can do is play healer. I'm terrible at everything else. Now I can do a bit of DPS, and I can play a competent tank, and all that just with a couple days of acclimation to the device. So I would say that's pretty good and promising for the future for sure. It does not replace your need for a controller though, to be clear. Even when I was hardcore into PC gaming, I never had an Xbox controller too far from me. There are games where it does make a lot of sense to use a controller. So if you buy this under the assumption of, oh, this is what I'm going to use, and you play more than a couple different types of games, I can say from experience, there are certain titles where you're going to be like, this is crap, give me a controller. And that's aside from the inherent input lag issues because of, emulation and all that. Once more, I don't regret my purchase. But if somebody walked up to me and offered me the full price I spent for it, or a scuffed controller, I would heavily consider taking the money. But if I was trying to be better at the game, I think I would go for the scuff and maybe buy some control freaks. You're gonna get the same level of mobility and nimbleness with a scuff. If you spend time on the sticks, you're probably gonna be just as well off. And with that being said, I'm not sure I have anything else to say. I hope my review was informative and helped guide you towards the right decision. Thank you for watching.